The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Well, my name is Ron Juckett. This is Game 4 of the American League Championship Series for 1982. Maybe, perhaps, the last Sim Championship Series game of the year, as the California Angels came back from a 7-5 deficit in Game 3 to take Sammy Stewart deep. Brian Downing, who will lead off in just a few minutes, hit a 3-run shot with 2 outs in the top of the 9th to turn a 7-5 deficit for the Angels into an 8-7 win. Hopefully this will be a better pitched game than what we had last night. It will be Mike Flanagan on 3 days rest. Oops, and then still got some other stuff on the screen. Always fun. Thought I had that one cleared away. Hold on. It'll matter in a moment. I didn't hit the right button, guys. Hold on. Okay. It'll be Mike Flanagan on 3 days rest against Bruce Keeson, who was supposed to start Game 2. Yep, as someone tells me from a comment from Game 2, Jeff Wrath of Zahn, and that's what happened. Jeff Zahn and Danny Martinez locked horns yesterday, and the only thing that locked up was a trip to the showers. Both starters didn't go well. Storm Davis and Dave Goltz are the ones that actually did the heavy lifting for both teams. Storm Davis is there if needed tonight. And for the Orioles, Scott McGregor is there if he is needed. But he had an ERA over 5 in the regular season, and Earl Weaver decided to go back with Mike Flanagan on 3 days rest to see if they could force a Game 5. Now, it is a best of 5. It's 2-1 California, but the Orioles are home. They know how to win. They probably have their better offensive lineup tonight. But it's a melancholy night, because if the Orioles lose, that is it for Earl Weaver. Well, until he comes back in 85 and 86. But he had announced his retirement before the playoffs began, and by God, this could be it if they don't win. So, no Jim Palmer tonight. He's supposed to go tomorrow. It'll be Kenny Force tomorrow. Now, for the Angels, they beat Baltimore 4-0 in Game 2. Kenny Force spun a shutout. They got the great job from Dave Goltz last night, and they came down from a 6-2 deficit to win the ball game. So who knows what's going to happen over the next hour. One thing's for sure, the Montreal Expos want a Game 5 because they await the winner of this. As Retro Sports Network presents the 1982 Sim American League Championship Series. Tonight, from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, it's the Baltimore Orioles, champions of the American League East, against the California Angels, champions of the American League West. And tonight's game is brought to you by Patreon.com. Become a Patreon of mine today at Patreon.com/Retro Sports Network. Well, so here we go. We're down to the last 2 games of the American League season. If the Angels win tonight, they are American League champions. If not, it's a decisive Game 5 tomorrow at noon. Ken Force and Jim Palmer for the pennant. The Orioles are desperately hoping for that. That was on the scoreboard when fans got here today. As we said, is this Earl Weaver's last game? Everybody brought some Chesterfields if it is. And so, let's get to it. Let's play some baseball. And Mike Flanagan is on the hill on this 69-degree night. Hardly a breath of wind out there. It is clear. The crowd is tense. You can cut it with a jackhammer. Mike Flanagan in Game 1 threw 9 innings, 5 hits, 3 home runs, but the Angels couldn't string 2 hit runners together. He walked 2 and struck out 4. And this will be the lineup that he'll face. Brian Downing, yesterday's hero, leads off. Rod Carew is at first base. He'll bat second. Doug DeCinces will bat third and play third. He's had a bad series, but not as bad as Reggie Jackson. Reggie does not have a hit. The Angels are 1 game away from the World Series, and Reggie doesn't have a hit. Don Baylor is a DH. He'll bat fifth. Freddie Lynn, despite the lefty on lefty, is in the game. He'll bat sixth. He had a 2-run homer in game 1. Bobby Grich is at second. He'll bat seventh. Bob Boone catching again behind the plate. He'll bat eighth. Timmy Foley is your shortstop. He'll bat ninth. And Bruce Keeson is your game 4 starter. They rolled the dice and did not bring Mike Witt back for game 4. He could either pitch today in long relief, he could pitch tomorrow in long relief. He is the swing man for the Angels. Defensively for Baltimore, John Lowenstein, a 5 and a 2 in left. He's back in the lineup tonight. Al Bumbry, an 8 and a 6 in center. Jim Dwyer is in for Dan Ford. They want the better average bat. He's a 4 and a 3 in right. Glenn Gulliver back in the lineup at third. He's a 5. Cal Ripken is a 5 at short. Rich Dower, a 3 at second. Eddie Murray, a 10 at first. And Joe Nolan gets the call back behind the plate for Flanagan. So Appachatter, Dave, Little, Captain Carl, D.O.G. Dave Gardner's rooting for the Angels. We've all said hello. Let's play some baseball. So Downing, 5 for 9 on the series. A double, 2 homers, and 5 RBI and 3 walks. He has been a thorn in everyone's side. Here's the pitch. Ball 4, and he starts off again on base. And for the 4th time in the series, I forgot to switch the Angels to the computer. Here's Rod Carew, 6 for 14, hitting .429, all singles, an RBI, a run, and a stolen base. Pitch. Got him. He struck him out on an 0-2 pitch on the inside corner. So 1 out for Doug DeCinces, who was 2 for 12. He's doubled twice and drove home 2. Also has a strikeout. Flanagan deals, and DeCinces puts that one into right field. Runners on first and second for the overdue, and I do mean overdue, Reggie Jackson. He is 0 for 13 on the series. He's walked once and scored and struck out 4 times, but Flanagan, along with the rest of the Orioles staff, has handled him quite well. And got him again. So a full count pitch in there at the knees, and Flanagan has struck out Carew and Jackson. And that'll bring up Don Baylor, who's hitting at .333, 4 homers and 4 for 12 in the series, 2 homers and 3 RBI. He has scored 4 times. Long inning for Flanagan. Fly ball to right. Dwyer in the corner, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. So Mike Flanagan at 25 pitch first, but he survives. California nothing. Here come the Orioles. So let's tell you a bit about Bruce Keeson. Bruce, 16 starts on the year, 11 and 2, with a 1.090 WHIP and an opponent's batting average of .218 and a .290 ERA. It says his nickname is Sweetie. I'm not making that up. It's all right there. Against Baltimore, he started once in 3 games, 12 and a third innings, 13 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He walked 5, struck out 12, and went 1-0 with an ERA of .365 and an average against a .271. So Keeson is an 8 on the mound, Boone a 10 and a 9 behind the plate. Defense pretty much it's been all the way through. Downing a 6 and 3 in left. Fred Lynn a 7 in center. Reggie Jackson a 3 and a 6 in right. Doug DeCince is a 9 at third. Tim Foley is 6 at short. Bobby Grich is 7 at second. Rod Carew is 7 at first. Bunbury has had himself a whale of a series. 6 for 13 with 4 RBI. Scored twice, walked once, and has 6 singles. Keeson delivers, struck him out. A 2-2 win at the knees, and that's how this one starts. For Glenn Gulliver, who has reached base 3 out of 8 times. He 2 for 7 in the first 2 games in California with a walk. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Carew. Takes it to the bag himself. 1 out or 2 out. For Kenny Singleton, 231. 3 for 13. 3 singles and 2 RBI. Bruce deals. Singleton right back to the pitcher, over to Carew, and that will retire the side. No runs on no hits and no errors. After 1, a 17-pitch inning for Keeson, no score. So it'll be Freddie Lynn, who is 8 for 3, but the Orioles pitching has walked him 5 times. 1 time intentionally. He's got a homer and 2 RBI in the first 3 games. Flanagan deals, and Lynn sends out one deep to right. Dwyer's there for the catch for the first out. 69 degrees, 1 mile an hour wind out to right field. This place is playing as neutral as it can. Bobby Grich 2 for 9. 2 singles and an RBI. Flanagan deals, struck him out. Got him right down the middle with a 2-2 fastball at 87, strike 3, and that's 3 for Flanagan. Here's Bob Boone, 1 for 10. Not been a good series, but he has driven in 2 without 1 hit and a walk. Flanagan deals into right center. Dwyer makes the catch, and that will retire the side. The Angels go down in order in the second. We go to the bottom of the inning, no score. It really has, Alvin, turned out to be an outstanding one. There has not been any game that you thought would go to script. I mean, if you thought both Zahn and Denny Martinez would get the snot kicked out of them in Game 3, I mean, this one has kind of turned all the way around a couple times and probably has a couple more twists and turns along the way. Eddie Murray got 4 hits in Game 3 and is now at 4 for 13 with 2 RBI on the series. Keeson deals right back to Bruce. Hard number throw to first in time for the out. 1 away for John Lowenstein. He's had a single, a triple, and a homer in the series, 3 for 7 with 4 RBI. And if the Orioles, he got moved up past Ripken to bat 5th behind Murray. Here's the pitch, and there's a long drive to right. It's gone. And so John Lowenstein, people wondered if he should have hit last night. Well, he hit the first pitch he saw for a home run down the right field line. Here it is again. So 1-0 Baltimore. Lowenstein puts the Orioles on the board. And that'll bring up the ice-cold Cal Ripken, 1 for 11 on the series. He's got himself a single and a strikeout. Keeson deals. Struck him out. A full count, swung on and missed, and there's 2 out for Jim Dwyer, who gets his first start. Dan Ford did not have a first good 3 games, and so they wanted to bring the lefty in to face the righty Keeson. Here's the pitch, ball 4. So Earl's changes have worked tonight. They've both reached. That was a bouncer on ball 4. Joe Nolan, 4 for 7 on the series with an RBI, 2 runs scored. Ground ball to Foley will flip it to Grich for the sure out, and that will retire the side. But John Lowenstein says, we're not done yet, Baltimore. We go to the third, 1-0 Orioles. Wow. I did not know that. Left the 71 World Series in a helicopter, Bruce Kieson did, to get to his own wedding. That's cool. How you doing, Steve P.? So it'll be Foley, Downing, and Carew to face Flanagan here in the third. Storm Davis, if you're wondering, can pitch, and can pitch a lot if needed. Scott McGregor is down in the bullpen if needed. Mike Boddicker is down in the bullpen if needed. And Sammy Stewart, who had a very emotional conference in front of his locker last night, Earl says, look, you got us here. I'll go to you again if I need you. Foley is 2 for 11. He singled twice and scored twice. Flanagan delivers. Ground ball to Dower. Over to Murray. 1 away. Al Red Sox fan in the house. How are you this evening? So Flanagan, 2 1/3 innings for 9 batters, 44 pitches. He has allowed 1 hit, walked 1, and struck out 3. So Flanagan doing what he can to keep the Angels off balance here. 1 out in the third. Pitch to Downing. And there's a base hit left side. That's going to get down, and Downing has himself a single. The Orioles cannot retire him. Rod Carew is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Pitch to Carew. He bunts. Nolan throws it over to Dower covering, and it works. So a 2-out sacrifice. And that'll bring up the Sensei, who singled in the first. So the Angels have 2 hits and no runs. The Orioles have a run on the homer by Lowenstein. Pitch to the Sensei. Line drive to Ripken, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 2.5, Baltimore 1, California nothing. So it'll be Dower, Bunbury, and Gulliver for the Orioles here in the bottom of the third to face Kieson. Dower is having a good series, 3 for 10. 2 singles, a double, and an RBI. He has walked 1 and struck out 1. Pitch to Dower. Line drive foul. Someone from Laurel makes that. Nice young lady. 2-2 count to Dower. Kieson deals, and there's a ground ball to third. Throws it over to Carew, and that's an out. So 1 out for Bunbury, who struck out to start the ball game. Kieson has only given up the 1 hit, but it was a home run by Lowenstein. 2 1/3 innings, 43 pitches. 1 hit, 1 run, 1 homer, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Pitch to Bunbury. Up the middle, a base hit, a clean hit. And Litt'll toss it back in. So the Orioles have 2 hits for Glenn Gulliver. Not going to hit and run here. And you really can't bunt. But he will ground ball to Foley. Grich for 1 over to Carew. And that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. After 3, this one's going to be a pitcher's duel, I take it. Baltimore 1, California nothing. Rob, how are you, buddy? So it'll be Jackson, Baylor, and Lynn to face Flanagan here in the 4th. Jackson struck out his first time up. His 5th time of the series. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Murray. Takes it to the bag himself, and Reggie remains 0 for October. Don Baylor's 0 for 1. Flanagan deals. Popped up. left side. Gulliver has it go foul. So the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Flanagan deals, and he gets Baylor to swing, and Nolan holds on to the foul tip for strike 3. And so 2 out. Flanagan is with 4 for Freddie Lynn. Mr. May. Yeah, so here's Freddie. 0 for 1. Ground ball up the middle. Dower with the stop over to Murray for the out. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 3.5, this one's going pretty quick so far. Baltimore 1, California nothing. No one can eat streaming big chips. Hot dogs and fries, however, as Rob has done, is a good thing. Kenny Singleton is 0 for 1. Keeson and Flanagan have given up 2 hits aside as we start the bottom of the 4th. Ground ball. Gritch cuts it off by the bag over to Carew for the out. Eddie Murray's 0 for 1. He's now 4 for 14 on the series. Keeson from the line. Fly ball right field. Jackson by the pins makes the catch. 2 out. So here's John Lowenstein, and he gets a big cheer from this sellout crowd here in Baltimore. Now there's no wind. It's going to take a lot to get a ball out. The air is absolutely still. Here's the pitch, and that's gone. So John Lowenstein has looked at 2 pitches and hit 2 home runs. All Reggie could do was turn and watch it go. And so right now the score is John Lowenstein 2, the Angels nothing. Wowzers. 2 solo shots for John Lowenstein. Remember, he had a terrible replay. He hit 240. And he comes through in the clutch here. A solo shot in the 2nd and a solo shot in the 4th. And as they say in the chat, you can't stop John Lowenstein. You can only hope to contain him. Cal Ripken has been contained. He's 0 for 1 with the strikeout. Keeson deals. And Ripken rips one for extra bases past Jackson. He's going for 3. The throw to third is not in time. And Ripken's got himself a triple, and they can breathe just a bit easier. That's just a bit easier. Here's Jim Dwyer. He walked his first time up. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. I wouldn't say Keeson's struggling, but those 2 runs are big. The pride of Wolf Point, Montana, John Lowenstein. Pitch from to Dwyer, ball 4. Yeah, or John, let it be Lowenstein. I've sang that a couple times. Joe Nolan's 0 for 1. Keeson deals, base hit left side. Ripken will score. Dwyer goes to 3rd, and Nolan's on with a single. And so the Orioles, like Stella, have found their groove here in the 4th inning. So Rich Dower is 0 for 1. Boone and Keeson have a few words. Here's the pitch. Popped up center field. Lynn is there, and that will retire the side. But the Orioles at least give themselves some breathing space. 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. After 4, it's the Orioles 3, the Angels nothing. Yeah, Jackson didn't give Jackson a bad play on the triple, but certainly Cal took advantage of Reggie's defensive prowess. Bobby Gritch struck out his first time up. So Mike Flanagan's got 3 runs to play with as we start the 5th. Nope, we're in Baltimore the rest of the way, and if there's a Game 5, it's right here tomorrow at noon from Memorial Stadium. Pitch to Gritch. Into center field. Bunbury, 1 out. No, he drops it. He dropped it. I don't know what he was thinking, if he lost it in the lights or what. I think he tried to actually make the throw before he had it in the glove. And there was no reason for that. And that's a 2-base error. Here it is again. I mean, he's right on track to get it. And he just completely discombobulated it. Orioles play for the bunt. Gritch on second. Nobody out. Top the 5th. 3-0 Baltimore. Ball 4. And now the tying run is at the plate for Tim Foley, who again can bunt. And again, Murray and Gulliver play for the bunt. Pitch to Foley. There's a base hit left side. That's going to get past Ripken, and now the bases are loaded. And they're stirring in the pan. Both McGregor and Davis are loosening. For Brian Downing, last night's hero, he has walked and singled today. So through 18 batters, Flanagan, 74 pitches, 4 innings, 3 hits. He walked 2 and has struck out 4. And right now it's Gritch on third, Boone on second, and Foley on first. Nobody out. Baltimore finally got some comfort, and they've found a hole in the blanket. Here's the pitch to Downing. Base hit left side. Gritch scores. Boone scores. Foley's at third. It's 3-2, and there's nobody out for Rod Carew. And just like that, the Angels have cut it to a 1-run game. Bunbury's actually an 8 out there in center field. And as Dave Little says, there's still nobody out. So Flanagan will get Carew. How he does after that depends on what Mr. Rod does right here. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Murray. They're going to throw home. To Nolan. He is safe. They couldn't turn 2, so Murray trying to get the runner at the plate, and we're tied at 3. And the Angels have come all the way back. And they can't mess around now. Flanagan's done. Storm Davis, 61 pitches last night, is in to try to hold this for the Orioles. We got a pitching change. This game is coming to you from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. So Davis, thanks to the pretty generous pitch count here from Action PC, 3 2/3 innings in last night's game, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and no ERA. Downing, the go-ahead run, is on second. Carew, who drew the walk, is on first. DeSensei is 1 for 2. Davis delivers, and there's a base hit into right, and Dwyer misplays it. Downing scores the go-ahead run, and the Angels are up 4-3. And there is a pall on this place like you would not believe. And now you got Reggie Jackson, who hasn't had a hit the entire postseason. He's 0 for 2. But you're not going to walk him for Baylor. Baylor can hit. Earl kind of beside himself in the dugout. Davis deals. Line drive to Ripken for the out. 1 away. And so that'll bring up Don Baylor, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Shallow left center. Bunbury's got it. Carew tags. The throw goes home, and Carew is out. So they get the double play. Bunbury, that was pretty shallow. I'm surprised The AI went for it. Carew slid for the plate. Nolan had the hand in front of the glove in front of the hand, and that's it. But the Angels score 4. And halfway home in Game 4, it's 4-3 California. So the Angels now have the advantage of being into the Baltimore pen. Mike Flanagan, 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He walked 2 and struck out 4. And Storm Davis only allowed the 1 hit in his 1 inning so far. Bruce Kison, 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. All earned, the 2 homers to John Lowenstein. Downing now hitting .636 in this American League Championship Series. The Orioles are still hitting .320. They have hit a lot. Here's Bunbury, 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Kison threw 18 batters, 73 pitches. You saw the rest of it. And there is no Paul in the California dugout. That's for sure. Pitch to Bunbury. Line drive right field. That's going to hit the wall. No, it's gone. Al Bunbury has tied this game on a solo shot that just got over the top of the wall. 4-4. I thought that was still in the yard. It was not. And so there's life back at Memorial Stadium. And this series is turning into all that and a bag of chips. So here's Gulliver. He's 0 for 2. Kison deals, and Gulliver sends one into left center field. He's got himself a single. Here's Kenny Singleton. He's 0 for 2. 4-4, bottom of the 5th. Al Bunbury with a home run. Batting .500 on the series. Ground ball to Foley. Bad play by Foley, and Singleton's going to beat out the throw to first. And so Bruce Kison's getting no love here from his defense in the 5th. Here's Eddie Murray, who's 0 for 2. Gulliver on second. Singleton on first. Murray waves it back and forth into right field. Reggie's there. Say cheese. 1 out for John Lowenstein, who is 2 for 2 with 2 solo shots. So 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th. Here's the pitch. Base hit right or left side. Gulliver will hold at third. And so the Orioles have the bases loaded and 1 out. Here's Ripken. He had a big triple in the 4th. And so Kison's holding on by the hair of his chinny chin chin. Here we go. Throw to first. Lowenstein is back. Boone tried to snap throw. Lowenstein can't hit lefties. But he's torn apart righties. Pitch to Ripken. Struck him out. Oh, that was big. He chased a 1-2 fastball. And now to bring up Jim Dwyer, who also can't hit lefties. He's walked twice. 4-4 the score. Bottom of the 5th. 9 hits for the Orioles, 5 for California. Pitch from Kison. Up the middle. Kison cuts it off, throws it to Carew, and that will retire the side. The Orioles tie the game on the homer from Bunbury, but leave them loaded. We go to the 6th. California 4, Baltimore 4. I'm not sure who the Angels have as a lefty. Freddie Lynn is 0 for 2. Facing Davis for the first time this evening. Here's the pitch. Into center field. Bunbury got it. 1 out. Yeah, Luzinski was a DH by this point. Here's Bobby Grich. He's 0 for 2. He has reached on an error, scored, and struck out. Here's the pitch. Davis got him. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called for Bob Boone, who walked and scored in the 5th. He's 0 for 1. Davis deals. Ground ball to Ripken. Over to Murray, and that will retire the side. So Mock is going to let, well, let's see. I think we're going to make an executive decision here. Keeson seems strong. But there's the reason why. You have Andy Hassler, but he threw 42 pitches in Game 3, and so he is their primary lefty. And so it's Sanchez Goltz who cannot pitch. He threw 76 yesterday, and Corbett for 1. And Sanchez is going to be the best bet out of that pen once the time comes. And the other lefty is Jeff Zahn, and you know what happened to him. So Bach will leave Keeson in there right now. The advantage goes to the Orioles. Nolan is 1 for 2. He is singled and has an RBI. Pitch. Struck him out. A 1-2 on the corner. On the inside corner for strike 3. And that's 4 for Keeson. And that brings up Dower, who is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. Line drive to Foley. 2 out. So Keeson doing his job. Bottom of the 6th, 2 out. Al Bumbry. As Keeson has faced 27 batters, 103 pitches. 5 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 3 home runs. But also those shots. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Bumbry 2 for 3 with a solo homer. Pitch to Al. Ground line drive, left side, out of play. So the count is a ball and 2 strikes. And you got to figure either way California is going to get 9 outs from that pin. Pitch to Bumbry. Struck him out. A 1-2 fastball on the inside corner, and that will retire the side. After 6, it's the Angels 4, the Orioles 4. So it'll be Timmy Foley, Brian Downing, and Rod Carew to face Davis here in the 7th. Foley is 1 for 2. He singled and scored in that crazy 5th inning. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Angels. They've left 4 on. The Orioles, 4 runs, 9 hits, and an error. And they've left 6 on. Pitch to Foley. Ground ball, foul, third base. And the ball boy tosses it to some little boy. And the count to Foley is 0-2. Davis delivers. Ground ball to Gulliver. Over to Murray for the out. 1 out for Downing, who, if the Angels win this series, is undoubtedly the MVP. He has walked, singled twice, and driven in 2. That 2-run single in the 5th gave the Angels a 4-3 lead. The tension is high enough to make Earl perm his hair. Yes. Pitch to Downing. Finally, they're going to retire him. Davis over to first for the out. And so Storm Davis has thrown 6 1/3 inning of scoreless baseball in the last 2 games. Here's Carew. He's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. Up the middle, base hit. So Carew gets a hit, and now bring up Doug DeSensei. 2 for 3. He has doubled, drove in a run. Jackson on deck if DeSensei should reach. 2 out, top the 7th. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Murray. Takes it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. So Doug Corbett, who threw 1 pitch and got the save, in Game 3 comes in to pitch here in the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time in Baltimore, 4-4. And so, thanks to all of you. What an exciting night to have you all here. My name is Ron Juckett. And of course, if you'd like to leave a tip in my Patreon account, I would greatly appreciate that. It's patreon.com/retrosportsnetwork. And if you want any game in the Action PC library played between any two teams, and I do mean any two teams, $10 gets you that done. So go today to patreon.com/retrosportsnetwork. Well, I don't think you can. Robbie's got a hit. He's 1 for 3. He's actually hitting 3 for 10 in the series. And he's up against the righty, so you never know. He's actually reached base 4 times in 11 tries at the plate. Here's the pitch. And there's a line drive right. Oh, Carew robs him of a hit. Carew, who got thrown out trying to score a 5th run, he had to leap, and he's pretty old. He's not leaping real far now. And he robs Gulliver of an extra base hit to start the bottom of the 7th. I don't know who that is in the guitar. It's a good one, though. Here's Kenny Singleton. He's 1 for 3. Got himself a single. Now he's got himself an extra base hit all the way to the wall and left. And the Orioles got a runner on second and 1 out for Eddie Murray, who was 0 for 3. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'll read that out loud. In my not so humble opinion, this season replayed by Action simmed out to be the best team made the play. So the best teams made the playoffs. These 4 teams should have been in the real playoffs. I did not expect Montreal to sweep Los Angeles. So can Eddie Murray do something here? He's 0 for 3, hitting .250 in the series. And they're going to walk him. For John Lowenstein, who is 3 for 3 today. He has homered twice and brought himself home. And boy, oh boy. So everybody's up now. Singleton on second, Murray on first. Corbett deals, ball 4. And they're loaded for Ripken with 1 out, who had a triple and a run scored, and has struck out twice. He's 1 for 3. Corbett, from the stretch, struck him out. What a big out, and Cal swings and misses on a 1-2 count. 2 out for Dwyer, who has walked twice and is 0 for 1. Man, there isn't a fingernail left in Southern California or the state of Maryland. Corbett from the wind. Base hit right field. Singleton will score. Murray will score. Lowenstein holds at third, and the Orioles go up 6-4. Earl's not done yet. Here's Nolan, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout. That 1 hit was a single. Here's the pitch. Base hit left center. Lowenstein scores. Dwyer goes to third, and Luis Sanchez is coming in. Doug Corbett has poopied the bed. And Luis Sanchez, who's thrown an inning and a third, allowed a hit and struck out 2. 7-4 Baltimore, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Dwyer on third, Nolan on first. Pitch to Dower, who's 0 for 3. Ball 4. And here's Bunbury. Solo shot in the 5th, tied the game. He is 2 for 4. He has struck out twice. Here's the pitch from Sanchez. Line drive to Carew, who makes another great play. And so the Orioles put 9 to the plate and score 3 on 3 hits and no errors. After 7, it's 7-4 Baltimore. And here's Reggie Jackson, who hasn't done anything all series. He's 0 for 16. Pitch from Davis, ball 4. I don't know if this pen can hold for 6 outs. Storm Davis has been the Orioles' best pitcher. And Earl can't afford to wait too long. I don't know how long Tippy can go. He was only supposed to go 20 pitches last night. He went 36. And you saw what happened with Sammy Stewart. Yep, the Angels had the lead over the Brewers in the bottom of the 7th in Game 5, and the pen blew it. So neither pen has turned out to be all that great. Here's Baylor. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, base hit up the middle. And Cal Ripken made a late start to it. And Earl's going to take a look. He can use Tippy for 30 pitches. He can use John Flynn. And he can use Mike Boddicker. And the call is for Boddicker, who went 1 inning in the series. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. Freddie Lynn, why not go with the lefty? Because you might need Martinez later in the inning. So Lynn is 0 for 3. Boddicker on the mound. Jackson on second. Baylor on first. 7-4 Baltimore, top the 8th. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. For Gritch, who was struck out twice. He's 0 for 3. And there's still nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Boddicker from the stretch. Line drive to Dower for the first out. Earl rocking back and forth, Chesterfield in hand. Boone is 0 for 2. 1 out. Jackson on third. Baylor on second. Lynn on first. Foley on deck. Boddicker deals up the middle. They're going to try for... Oh, no, they throw home. Nolan's throw to first is in time. It's a double play. They go the wrong way. They were going to go 6-4-3, and instead it's 6-2-3. Ripken throws it home, and Nolan threw to first to get him. And so the Angels cannot score. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still Baltimore 7, California 4. Wow. No Stanhouse or no Stoddard. And with the way the bullpen's pitching, you're going to want Tippy in the 9th. You got the lefties, Carew and Jackson, coming up again. Now the Orioles will look to see who they're going to pinch hit. They want another run. They shake Glenn Gulliver's hand. They bring out Dan Ford, who's 4 for 12 in the series. Got himself 3 singles and a double. Pitch from Sanchez. Struck him out. Boy, that worked. A late called strike 3 on the fastball, and that'll bring up Kenny Singleton. So the Orioles defense giveth, and the Orioles defense taketh away. Here's Singleton, 2 for 4. Single, double, run scored. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to DeCinces. Long throw to Carew. And Singleton is out by an eyelash. So here's Eddie Murray. 0 for 3. A walk and a run scored. Here's the pitch. Liner is going to drop in front of Jackson and right. And so that's the 13th hit for Baltimore. And look who's up. John Lowenstein. He has scored 3 times. He is 3 for 3. He has singled, homered twice, and walked. Sanchez delivers. They're going to get him this time, I think. The Sensei long throw to Carew. Got him. So Ripken moves to third. Sakata in it short. And Boddicker will start the inning. Foley and Downing. Remember, no off day between Game 4 and Game 5 either, so you got to figure you only use Tippy now if you need it. Foley's 1 for 3. He singled and scored. Here's the pitch. Here's a ground ball base hit. Dwyer will pick it up. And now you just don't take any chances. It's Tippy's ball game now. He's thrown 2 1/3 innings. He's allowed 1 hit. He's walked 1 and struck out 4. And he's facing Brian Downing, who is 2 for 3. Has singled twice, drove in 2 in the 5th. Scored himself and walked. Yep. Weaver nicknamed Stanhouse Full Pack, referring to the number of cigarettes consumed while watching him pitch. Weaver also was quoted into saying that Stanhouse was a toot-toot who ruined his health. Yes. From the Peter Marshall collection. So 1 on and nobody out for Downing. And now Martinez, 3 outs to bring us to Game 5. Here's the pitch to Downing. There's a base hit into right field. Are you kidding me? And so the tying run is up for Rod Carew. And so now, lefty versus lefty. Carew 1 for 3. He has driven in a run. He has singled and he has struck out. 7 for Baltimore. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Murray. Takes it to the bag himself for the out. For DeCinces, and now does Earl walk the tying run on to face the moribund Reggie Jackson? Do you walk the tying run? DeCinces is 2 for 4. He has doubled. He has hit an RBI. The predictor says, I think you do. And so DeCinces gets the free pass. So 1 out. They are now loaded. And here's Reggie Jackson, who is 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Orioles win this game with a double play. Here's the Nolan and Martinez get some signs together. Baylor on deck. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. He got him on an 0-2 pitch for strike 3, and Reggie Jackson is 0 for October. And again, the Orioles are down, or the Angels are down to their last out. Baltimore is ready for a Game 5, but Don Baylor is in the way. And so here we go. You take the risk in walking the tying run, but with the way Jackson's been swinging the bat, they can get away with it. But can you get away with it with Baylor? Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Sakata, to Dower, and there will be a Game 5. The Orioles have forced a 5th and deciding game. 7-4. Wow. Again, what a ball game. 4 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. For the Angels, the Orioles, 7 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. John Lowenstein, 3 for 4, 2 solo shots. Al Bunbury, a homer. Would you believe Glenn Gulliver's hitting better than Cal Ripken? Yeah, it's true. So Storm Davis, who comes out of the pen for another long relief outing, gets the win. 3 innings, 3 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. The California bullpen was atrocious. Doug Corbett, 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1. Bruce Kison did okay, but not great. Boddicker got the hold, and Tippy Martinez, who was in much better shape today, gets the save. But it's Lowenstein that will be the game MVP. And so it seems kind of fitting that the American League season goes down to its 167th and last possible game. Will it be Jim Palmer and the Orioles bringing Earl Weaver another World Series? If it is, it would be the 5th for Weaver, and his first since 1979. Or does Gene Mauch find some more luck with Kenny Forsch and maybe get something out of Reggie Jackson, who's done absolutely nothing in this series? And California, in their second American League Championship Series, really nothing to hang their heads about. They forced the issue, and Baltimore just got to the pen. How far can Forsch go on 3 days rest, and what can Jim Palmer do to pitch the Orioles into the World Series? The Expos are happier than pigs in poop because there's only 1 day between the World Series, or the Game 5, and the World Series, which means that Steve Rogers gets to face either Denny Martinez or Mike Witt. Good luck, American League champions. I'm Ron Juckett. Game 5, noon tomorrow, Eastern, 9 Pacific. Sports Time Machine's going to play Game 4 of his 77 series. If you'll check in for that, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night.